Hi friends, it's Miss J again. So today we're going to do a write about reading again. And do you remember this story, Oscar and the Frog? A book about growing. Did you notice that there was a theme, by the way? Last week we talked about growing and this week we're talking about growing. But this time it was about a frog and his buddy the cat who wondered why he looked so different from when he first started as an egg and then he grew into this frog. So our write about reading this week is to draw and label the stages of the frog's growth from egg to tadpole to frog. So let me read that again. You're going to draw and label the stages of the frog's growth from egg to tadpole to frog. Now, I know you don't have this paper at home. This is something we would have put into one of our centers. But what you could do is just inside your writing journal, you could just get a new page and label it. So you can see right here we have 1, 2, 3. And you can label your paper and you can write the same sentences that I'm writing, or you can watch this video, get an idea of what it is that you're supposed to do, and then try to do this writing on your own. That would be a good challenge for you. And then this box over here is for you to draw a picture. Now, if you're using your own writing paper at home, you might want to take your paper, and if this was your paper, for example, you could take your paper and section off a part for the picture and then do your writing down below, okay? So leave yourself some room for a picture if you use a paper of your own, okay? So I'm going to use this one. It just helps us stay organized, and it also has these nice, neat lines on here. Now remember, whenever you're doing your writing, anytime you're writing words, you're always doing your best, okay? Slow, neat, and on the lines. And if you make a mistake, take the time to erase it. Remember, your first grade teachers want you to be really ready when you come to first grade in the fall, okay? All right, so here's the story that we're going to use. Good writers often use text or a story to help them support their writing. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So this was talking about the stages of frog's growth. So I'm going to open up the book because sometimes it's really helpful to remember the part of the story where it talked about how the frog grew. Now let's just review really quick. I'm going to get really close so you can see. And remember, here's Frog. He said, "It's true," Frog said, and he told Oscar how frogs grow. "At first I looked like an egg, a dot in an egg. The egg was as soft as jelly." So look at that picture right there. "I grew in the egg, then hatched out as a wiggly tadpole." And the next picture shows you here. "I could breathe underwater through gills like a fish. I was hungry for pondweed. It helped me to grow." So look how small he was, and now look how big he's getting now. And then he kept growing. It says he's still a tadpole. He says, "Later my gills disappeared as I grew lungs to breathe air with. I grew back legs." So here comes his legs. Look at, he's still kind of small, but look at how much he grows now. "Then front legs." Here come his front legs. "And my tail started to shrink." And then finally it said, "After 3 months, I was a little frog. I kicked my new legs and jumped out of the water to live on the bank." Remember, that was one of our vocabulary words. The bank of a river is like the sand or the edge of the river that he might be living in. Okay, so now do you have that in mind? Okay, so what we're going to do, I'll put this up here so you can remember. It's hard to see a little bit. So it says, draw and label the stages of the frog's growth. It says from egg, these are the important words, egg, tadpole to frog. So we're going to do 3 parts. Are you ready? Number 1, we have to say how he started out as an egg, okay? So we could say right here at the beginning, he says it, "I looked like a dot in an egg," okay? So first, we could just say first. Now remember, you can write your own sentences if you want. But Miss J is going to first, there is an egg. Okay? Now, if you write a longer sentence, you might need another line. So when you write your numbers, give yourself a little space in between in case your sentence is a little bit longer. So I started out first, I put in a space. There is one of our sight words. Hopefully you remembered that. If not, you can ask for a parent to help you. If not, if you're not sure, remember you can just do your best guessing and write down all the sounds that you hear, okay? First, there is an egg. Is and an are also sight words. See how important sight words are? That's why we need to learn them because they help us in our writing as well and reading. So first there is an egg. Now remember down here in the picture, it's a white egg with a black dot in it. So I might just do a little drawing really quick with a black dot. Now he said he was the dot in the egg, okay? So I might just label. Remember when we label, we draw an arrow and then we write down the word egg. Okay, so good writers label their pictures. It helps everybody understand what they're trying to talk about, okay? All right, number 2, we have to use the word tadpole. I got to think, sometimes writers have to think about what they should write, and then, so they're planning it out. So what could we say about tadpole? I like that I use the word first. And since we have a list going, here's one. Maybe Miss J should have done this part first. We can trace over this one. You've probably already written your one. Here's number 2, so you can see it better. And then here's number 3. Okay, number 2. So I'm thinking about my sentence for tadpole, and I am looking at my book. Remember, he went from egg to tadpole. So when he hatched, he became a tadpole. So I could say, then the frog hatches as a tadpole. I kind of like that sentence. So I have to plan that because those are quite a few words. So good writers sometimes have to count their words so they can keep track, and you have to say it lots of times, okay? So I want to do first, and when we're doing a sequence of things, we're going to use the word next, okay? Next, next, the THE spells the. Next, the frog, g. Next, the frog. See how writers have to start over so they can remember what comes next? Next, the frog hatched. Hatched. Look at my space right here. I don't have a lot of space, so sometimes you just have to leave that there and go to the next line because I don't want to squeeze it all in and not be able to read it. When you write something, you want your readers to be able to read it. So I'm going to go down here to the next line and say hatched. Remember that? That's an H, brother. Hatch. Hatched. Now remember, if you don't know how to spell it, it's totally fine. That's part of growing up, right? You learn more as you get older, and pretty soon you'll start figuring out all of those sounds that are in there. That's a tricky word. So hatched, you just write down the sounds you know. Hatched. Hatched. Next, the frog hatched. What did we say? Into a tadpole. Into is one word. It's a compound word. Into a, and here's our word tadpole up here. So I'm just going to copy it because it's already on our paper. Or if you do not have it on your paper, you can just copy Miss J, okay? Oops, I made my A a little too tall. Tad, add, and then it's a P, which goes underground, a tadpole. Okay? Let's read it and make sure it made sense. Next, the frog hatched into a tadpole. I think we did it. Okay, so now we've got to draw a picture to show what that looks like. Okay? So a tadpole, looks like it has a big head. That's the head of the frog, right? And it had little swimmers, I think I see in the picture out of the book. I'm gonna see if I can do my best. Remember, if you're not a good drawer, it's okay, isn't it? Because we all have to start somewhere. So if you look at the picture in the book, let me get really close so you can see it again. See that tadpole right there? That's what I tried to draw. Okay? So that's what you're gonna try and draw, okay? All right, so I did my best. I see in the picture he only had two things. So I'm going to erase one of these right here. Okay? That's okay. Artists sometimes have to fix their drawings, don't they? Okay, so let's move on to the last one. Oops. And we have to use the word frog. After he became after he was a tadpole, he turned into a frog. So then first, next, what word do you think we should use right there? Last. Did you say that? Last. Last. What should we say? The tadpole became a frog. Okay? Last, the tadpole. I'm just going to copy the word tadpole again. Tadpole. Friends, remember, this is on video, so if you need a pause because you're catching up or it's taking some time or you made a mistake, don't worry, just pause the video and then you can get it done, okay? Last, the tadpole is, I ran out of room on my paper. I'll just go right down here to the bottom. That's totally okay. Last, the tadpole is a frog. And I'm just writing the word frog from up there, F-R-O-G. And I'm going to do my best to draw a frog. And I'm going to use a picture again. I'm going to bring it up close so that you can see. Or maybe mom or dad can pull up a picture on your phone or iPad of a picture of a frog. Boy, this will be challenging for Miss J. So I'm just going to do my best, okay? I'm going to, here's the water that he's in, and here is the bank of the river that he's going to climb out on, okay? So I'll try and draw some dirt here. Here's the water. You probably have crayons at home where you can do some colors here instead of just black marker, okay? Let's see, and here I'm going to draw the frog coming out of the water. And here's an eye, and here's another eye right here. And give him a little mouth. He's probably happy to come out of that water, huh? Looks like he has some spots on his back. And I need a leg. And another leg. Boy, this is challenging, isn't it? And frogs have webbed feet. There's one of his legs. I gotta draw another leg of him crawling out of the water here. We just do the best that we can do, right? Maybe you would use a green crayon to color your frog. And let's see, he's got arms up here too. So I'm gonna erase some of this so you can see his arm here. And he's got webbed fingers up here too. All right. Well, I think you get the idea, huh? So let me move over here so you can see what Miss J did. All right. Then you could, if you drew it in pencil, you could maybe get your markers and you could color him green instead of Miss J just had a black marker at that moment. So maybe I'll color him in green here. Should have planned that ahead of time, before I did my video. Oh well, Miss J's still learning. How about you? Learning is fun, learning new things. So I could be coloring my frog green, okay? Oops, my marker decided to stop coloring. And of course, I hope you're doing your best coloring because again, you are getting ready for first grade. So they want to see you be able to do your very best work, okay? And of course, Miss J's marker is not working as well as it could be. Anyways, friends, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Remember, do your best. Sound out your words the best that you can. If you don't know the word, just skip it and go on. Or ask an adult to maybe help you write the first or the second sound. Or maybe you can hear the first sound and the last sound. But try to put something down for every word. This is April, and we have done a lot of writing practice. So you should be able to do a lot of writing and a lot of work, hard work, at sounding out your words, okay? I hope it went well. Take your time. Again, watch the video again if it didn't, if it went too fast, or if you need more support, or if you need to hear it again, just play the video again, okay? I hope you guys are doing great. I'm sure you are. Keep working hard. I'm proud of you, okay? And I miss you. Bye.